Hello, I hope you are well. In today's video, we are going to, I'm going to show you how you can use AI for an existing project. In my case, I will use the DuraSpeak app. It's a language app similar to Duolingo, to Busuu, so you have many Duolingo, Busuu, you have many apps to learn languages. These days, so many. You have, what was the name? I forgot actually. There are so many out there, and it's the app we are going to use. It's similar. Duolingo vs should say alternatives. What was the name? Here. Oh, Bubble. Yes, Bubble. That was the one I was looking for. Yeah, and we can go here. We can clone the repo. We are not going to use Claude Code today, and because it's a bit expensive, to be honest, and I thought why not to use GitHub Copilot. We'll use a premium model though, but we'll use GitHub Copilot, and I will do git clone. I have an alias G's git, so for you it will be git. So if you look at my aliases, I will show them to you. That was another project actually. If you wonder what is this one, Learn AI Data Science. I have done a full video about it on my channel, so if you wish to have a look, just go to my YouTube channel and you will see Git. Oh no, it's actually, this alias is on ZSHRC, and you see G, you can just add an alias that way. Okie dokie. So in our case, we are here, we cloned the repository, so we can do cd DuraSpeaks, and then we are set. We can use code. If you use Claude Code, of course, you can then you can start Claude inside of DuraSpeaks, and from there you can do your stuff. But in our case, I'm not going to use Claude Code for today's video, so I'm going to use VS Code. I will close this for now. Beautiful. We open. That's okay. Oops. Alright, what happened? I will close this one. I'm going to close that one too. I'm going to reopen. It does happen that, I'm not too sure what's happening with my VS Code. I'm going to open VS Code this way. New window. Well, I will have a look what's wrong there. That's an interesting one. DuraSpeaks. I do cd code, cd DuraSpeaks. Perfect. If you wonder, actually, the terminal I use is Ghosty. That's a terminal emulator. It's actually very nice, very handy, and I like using Ghosty these days. Normally I'm using Item. I will check what's wrong with the VS Code, and I will get back to you. I will come back in probably in 30 minutes, because I will have my breakfast first, and then I will check what's the problem there. So a little break for us, but not for you, because the video will just continue. All right, so now it works again. It updated the version. So that's the latest version, and I'm going to open the folder, which is DuraSpeaks app. Lovely. And I do trust everything inside of the code folder. That's all good here for me. And now we can start prompting. So that's the agent. And my first prompt will be, look carefully to the existing source. So the source code is here. It's the SRC folder. We'll add that in the context. Also, my model I will use 4.5, the latest one of Claude Sonnet. And here I'm looking a bit of the files here. The existing source code of this React Native app that aims to be, I'm going to the repository here, and aims to be, all right, to be a sophisticated AI-powered language learning mobile app designed to help users speak without all the boring grammar, etc. To speak quickly and efficiently a foreign language. Beautiful. And now build with. Actually, I will remove this. It's a bit redundant for the description. Just look in there. We do the div. Yeah. Show div. Just you see, to show the div, you just have to tick here. Show div. There. Build with React Native and TypeScript feature. Yeah, that's not needed. Remove redundant paragraph. Perfect. Lovely. And so now I'm going to go to the repo. Another one. I will quickly check if I had any specific prompt already that I may have written. Make a AI mobile app language acquisition for most languages. Take the same core code. Yeah, another one. Language speaks, picking up a new language breaking barriers. Perfect for anyone who finds learning. Yeah, no, that will be our prompt for now. And I'm going to do send with Codebase. Amazing. So we are going to see what we get from there. I'm thinking if we might add also some ideas of design or mockup. Don't hesitate. If you have a mockup, you can also attach a mockup. In the context, again, you can add images very simply. It's nice to be as specific as possible. So that way you will prevent any confusions. Otherwise, it will not really know what you want. Perfect. The design, you see, it will do a design for itself. Of course, the majority of the app has been built already. Mostly. That's pretty much done. I have tasks I do on things. I can show them to you. And it's very handy because that way, I just tick the other ones. Lovely. All of this, you see, I have, like, this is one of the notes I have. And then for most of them, I have checklist. And so I tick everything that needs to be done for the app. You have multiple ways to do it. You can do on Asana, you can do on Trello. You can organize also your to-do with to-do comments in your code base. You have an extension to-do tree. I was using that one in the past, but I prefer to have something in the cloud. I don't use Things tree here on this computer because the problem is that I also have a lot of personal things, you know, like things about my personal life, and I just don't want to expose too much. But that's the only reason. Otherwise, I would use Things tree also on this Mac. Only for this course, I prefer to only check on my phone. And it helps me to not forget anything important when I build an app, when I do something. Like imagine you have a client, you work with a client, the client gave you a list of requirements for the app. You have the email, you can easily use ChatGPT, or you can use like Apple. They're really nice. It's not yet best, but you have Apple Intelligence where you can use ChatGPT inside of Apple Intelligence to say, okay, this is the content of the email, transform that into, like, break down this into checklists. And so you will have checklists, and then you just have to paste into your reminder app. And that way you will not forget anything from what the client mentioned to you, all of the requirements. You can also do the same with Jira. You have your product owner, they mention that to you. You can say, please look at the ticket contents, break down into simple tasks, and how I can do, like, what's the most important ones first to be done, and convert the task into simpler English words, because sometimes it's a bit confusing. It depends who is writing the task, but if it's not well written, especially if it's not made in, if they don't format it into bullet points, it's harder to break each little tiny task you want to do. And so it's better to ask AI to split a long paragraph into smaller bullet points. And that way, I found it much easier, and it helps me to, it will help you, I believe, to not miss anything. Because at the end of the day, we don't only want to be more efficient, but also we want to perform better. And that's also the important part most people forget. They use AI to be more efficient, to be faster, but because they don't use it right, or they outsource their brain to AI and then they don't think anymore, AI doesn't make them more efficient. It will make those people quicker at what they do, but actually slower in the long term, because they will make mistakes. They will have a lot of things that won't work. They will forget things, and the quality provided, the outcome, will decrease over time. So you really don't want to be in that trap. And here, AI native design React, 28 languages. Okay, so it uses GPT for languages, right? So that means there is a OpenAI API key. Yeah, we just need to ensure that it will not be too costly. Where is the API key used for? And could the app be behind a paywall so that it won't cost money if only free users are using the app? That might seem a little bit vague, but with Claude Sonnet 4.5, it's smart enough to understand what we mean there. Claude Sonnet version 3, probably not enough, but the 4.5 definitely. So we have to adjust our prompt. The good part is that it's smarter and smarter, so it will guess better what you mean when your prompt is vague. Now, of course, I always suggest you to be as specific as possible. Of course, if it doesn't know, and so it might hallucinate, or it will create something you don't want. You always have to think about, how can I give a fence to the model, to the AI, so it doesn't go beyond the fence. And the fence is the context, is how much you are specific, how well your prompt is written. And that will be the fence, the border, where AI will know it cannot go to something completely different. You really don't want AI to do, because this is not what you had in mind. And most of the time, the outcome of what AI does is not because AI is not good, it's because your prompt was poor. The quality was not there yet. So yeah, always improve, and do some tests, try different prompts, and you will see which one performs best. I just keep the changes. Here we are done, and everything has been done with Claude Sonnet 4.5. I'm happy with the changes. So now I will ask to have some end-to-end tests. That's the last step we want. We have the paywall, here, because we don't want to lose money if we use OpenAI API. A lot of users will use our app for free, and so it will cost us money. And to prevent that, we need a paywall. Please ensure the paywall logic complies with Apple requirements for iOS. And after, I will write another prompt, end-to-end tests to make sure nothing breaks the app and that all logics work as expected. And that will be the following prompt. I will drink a little bit of sparkling water. Time to give water to our brain. Hydration is not good, so this hydration is not good, so we have to hydrate ourselves. And actually, why? I'll show you something, and it's extremely important when you learn new things. Why hydrate your brain is important for learning. Hydrate your brain, or more like drinking water. It will hydrating the brain is crucial for learning, because water is essential for maintaining optimal brain function, including concentration, memory, and attention. So the focus, attention, and reaction time. I didn't know the last one actually. That's interesting. Even mild dehydration, we don't want to be dehydrated, can impair cognitive ability and leading to difficulties in focusing, processing information, and retaining what is learned. You see, it's very important. The brain is composed of about 75% of water, and that's why we rely heavily on hydration. And yeah, so good nutrition and drinking water, not soda, not, in my case here it was sparkling water, so it's not best either because it's a bit more acidic. The best would be still water. We'll close it up for now, and we are nearly there. That will be our last prompt, and then I will already commit the changes we have done here. That was the types. Like now we have subscription state, usage plan is loading error. I will need to test all of this and to publish the app on the Apple Store. At the moment, I have a food tracker app and a sleep tracking app that I publish. A sleep tracking app is an interesting one because that one I have only used Cloud Code and GitHub Copilot, and I didn't code the app at all. Do meal snap. We will find it. We just need to look for the app in there. No, it's not there. Food tracking app. Maybe I will show you another time. But you will see. I just don't find it. Sleep tracking app. My bad. Sleep tracker app. I'm now getting confused with food. It's somewhere, but the name is probably a little bit too generic. Anyways, I will close this. We can commit, that one. Oh, it uses React Redux. I'm not a big fan of React Redux. I believe it's too heavy. We should use React. Forgot the one. This one with a German name and another one with a Japanese name. Alternatives. Ouch, ouch, ouch. It's not React Redux. No. Oh, this one. Zostand. That's my favorite one. Zostand. Probably the name is, I don't know. Probably my brain doesn't like the name. Zostand. And that one is it's in Japanese, right? And the other one is German. Oh, that one is in German. The German word Zostand, that means state. Yeah, as simple as that. But I think the person behind the project, the initial creator, the original creator of the library, is from Japan. He's Japanese. Founder, like library creator. Original creator. I thought he was Japanese. I saw this an interview a while ago. He published a book. He also published a really nice book. Yeah, I think it's him. And he published a book, Amazon. Really interesting. Zostand React. What's his book? If we look at the author, it will probably be easier. So, Deshikato. I will copy this. Let's do that. No, that's not his book. No. Let's see. Oh, it was this one. Yes, microstate management with React Hook. Amazing. Yeah, he's a really talented software engineer. All right, I have listened some of his interviews and talks, and they were very good. We can commit this, protect AI conversion example. What's that? I'm not sure what's this, if we should or not. I'm not too sure about that file. That's an example file. I will commit this, so this has been done. The check, ideally you have to look back to everything that has been generated, so you are sure you don't miss anything. Do we need to commit this one? And then I will say that's okay to have two questions here because it's related to the same. What, how it is used, and why. And you know, speaking about why, senior software engineer or the software engineer that needs to that have already adjusted themselves for the AI era, they don't do the what, they do the why. And the normal software engineer, the Lambda software engineers, they are focusing on the what has to be, what needs to be done, what. And if you want to be senior or more like a lead engineer, or to survive with the AI, you know, to survive during this AI era, you need to focus on the why we need this, why, and not the what. The what is simple, what I need to build, what I need to do now. But the why, it's much more complex. Why do we need that? Why this? Why not another solution, another approach? You see, the why and the what, very, very different. Like it's super, the difference, if you understand the difference, your career will be much brighter for you. So what is what I need to do now? I need to build this app. I received all of the instructions. I just need to do it. I'm a doer. I execute. But the why you question and you ask, are you sure of this? Like maybe there's a better way, a more scalable way. You are a thinker. You are looking for maybe better solutions, something higher level, a different approach. Or maybe we don't need this app. Maybe we already have such a solution or similar solution in our code base. You see, why, what? I will commit this. Excellent. What? Yes, end-to-end test. Week 1, setup integration. Oh, expected timeline. It's funny, it gives me an expected timeline for this. If your app gets rejected. Oh, this is new. Like I never got these scenarios with GitHub Copilot. It's the first time. Yep. That's okay. We don't really want to commit this though. I can just add these file names inside of gitignore. Yeah. I will do a git status inside of my project. So far we have this. I will check that one. Yeah, the interface there. We export subscription type for convention. Okay, good to know. That comment we can leave it then. And that's the end-to-end backend. So we have a new backend API service, and then we have a subscription slice. Let's have a look at these files before committing them. All right, but they're not being exported. It's not been added inside of the app TSX. It says here, but it didn't update to the app TSX. Yeah, that's strange. Only the documentation. Maybe I missed something from the prompt. And then the other one, it was this one for the API service. There was a protection that was, that was the example file, the protect file. Okay, so certain build wet feature. Yeah, no, that's about Redux. I'm closing this. So let's have a look inside here. Then right. And there. Do we need this? Do we need to commit? Yeah, that's a prompt after. And then I will have to ask about these files. Secure communication with your backend, protected API endpoints, usage. Okay, so I feel like the app is not the entire one. So that's still, I mean, it's missing the, yeah, of course the backend is not there. Do we want a backend? Now understand this because we use OpenAI, and so we need a proxy backend. And for the paywall too, with Stripe, due to the paywall, so the integration with the backend is not done yet, and that's why we have files that are not used, but they will have to be used when we are communicating with the backend server, backend enforce, and that's the example file. Yes, that's how we have to do handle send message. The message each turn counts towards the limit. I'm not exactly sure what will need to be done. Yeah, I will wait first the engine test to finish, then this prompt, and then we'll see how we can implement the backend to be ready to be used. Because otherwise we cannot use it yet. We'll have to implement the backend, and let's see that. Unit tests are fully done, which is very exciting. I got a notification, now the notification is gone. But when you're not on VS Code, Visual Studio Code, or I should say GitHub Copilot extension, will trigger an extension. So you will see a VS Code notification on your laptop, and you will hear a beep saying, oh, this is completed. And that's very handy to have notifications. Normally, I turn off all of the notifications of all of my apps, but except for VS Code, because I might do something different, and it's handy to know when the agent has finished their job, when the agent just completed the task. I go here, keep, I will ask if we do need to commit that example file, and then can you build a lightweight, probably not Go in our case, but JavaScript, so we can use the same language. Can you build a lightweight backend API for this app so we can integrate, and the file we need to integrate is the backend API service, and the other one, if I look on Ghosty, backend API service, and this one, the subscription slice, and subscription slice to ensure everything works without any missing dependencies. Dependencies, services, APIs. Perfect. So here, what it says, we can create an example directory in docs, move the file. Okay, that's nice. And then it removes the example. So now it's in a doc folder. Option. Oh, that's an option. My bad. I was too quick. Right. Should you commit? No, you should not commit this file because it's not. Okay, good to know. Let's not commit that, because if we do the backend, it doesn't make sense to have a documentation to implement the backend anymore. Option 2, if you want to keep a list of reference, monetization, API security. All right, so let's do a git st status. I will remove that. That's for the test, so I will commit that later on. Now let's commit first the changes with the paywall. That's the first thing we need to commit. So the paywall, and then to ensure that the app would work correctly, you need to commit end-to-end test, ensure the paywall logic complies. Yeah, and the API is used behind the paywall. Yes, it does. So let's see our history here. Write end-to-end test. Write API. Where is API? Great question. API key usage, code state. Yes. Current issue. The API is meant to be stored client side, which is not secure. Indeed, that's why we need a backend, a proxy API, because it's not secure if we store the API key on the client side. Like anyone could steal our API key and would use our API key access, OpenAI API key access to use our credits from OpenAI, which we don't want to. That's why we need a backend API. And that's where the new files came from. So now what I'm going to do is to commit this one with end-to-end comments. We have test end-to-end, and then the end-to-end folder and the GitHub workflow actions. Workflow, yeah, that's for the end-to-end too. Lovely, and I will generate a commit message to commit our end-to-end tests at end-to-end test. Yeah, that's correct. And now let's see what it does here for the backend. We just need to wait for the backend to finish, and we are done. That's very exciting. Nearly there, nearly there. It's creating, you can see, a backend folder. That one, either we keep it as a mono repo or we split the backend and the mobile app. Of course, if the mobile app was built with Swift or Kotlin, I would split into two different repositories. But because they both share the same language, JavaScript, then maybe a mono repo would be enough. Let's see. Or we would just create two distinct Git repos. I mean, one Git repo for the native mobile apps, Android, iOS built with React Native, and another Git repo for the backend Node.js. Yes. And I believe it uses Express.js, isn't it? If we split, we will have to split also the dependencies. But at the moment, React Native doesn't use Express.js, so we don't want to install Express.js inside of React Native for the backend. That doesn't make any sense, no. So it will have to be and it has here, yeah, lovely, locally. So basically it's already distinct. We just need to know if we commit everything or we have two Git initialization for the backend. I believe I will do that. One Git init there and Git there and two repos. All right, okie dokie. So this is nice. And that's backend. Here, actually, my name is not. All right, that's correct. Jura speaks. You know, Jura was my dog. And Jura is the indigenous tribe my grandfather got familiar with. I mean, he was ethnologue, and yeah, Jura, Xavier, I would say François. Yeah, Jura tribes. This one. And oops, where is the book cover? It's a beautiful book, but it's not an easy one to read because it's a scientific book. Scientific book about the tribe Jura, the Jura people. Yeah, and that's where Jura. That's why my dog, we named the dog the name of the Jura. Les Indiens Jura, that means it's the indigenous Jura from Latin America. It's fantastic, like it's very important to protect those people, the indigenous, and to make sure that they live by themselves and no one using their land for something else. And that's what my grandfather was fighting for after he was in the in the Amazonia rainforest, the Amazonia, yeah, Amazonia rainforest. Oh, it's beautiful. But you see, there's already a house there. Like, where are the trees? They are cutting all of the trees, and that's also awful. See, there are less and less nature. Yeah. Reduce size. We shouldn't discuss anymore, I mean, too much, but the at least you know why the name is Jura. For me, it means a lot. It's very important, and I believe for a language app, it's even more important. My grandfather was speaking the name is the language. It's meant to be a language that could be used by anyone. And what's the name of the language? Esperanto language? Esperanto, yes. Esperanto. And you know, like, I know these days, I mean, nowadays we don't really need to learn Esperanto, like the language sadly is dying slowly. But to me, Jura, I'm not even sure what language the tribe was speaking. I mean, the indigenous Jura. I'm not sure they were speaking Spanish. Indigenous. Yeah. Anyways, let's go back to where we were, and as you can see, it's finishing. We are nearly there, and so that way we will have our app and the backend running. I will already create a new repo, and the name will be JuraSpeaks API. That way. Backend for the learning language app, JuraSpeaks. And you know, it's funny, speaking about languages, this is also why Busuu, the name is Busuu, it's a language. And that's how Busuu was named. African language. And there's a reason why that language. So, English, only a few speakers remain, very limited language. And so they decided to name the app Busuu back in 2012. I think Busuu was created like somewhere, 2000, that was the year, when Busuu app was launched. It was like in 2012, I think, or 2011, somewhere there. And so they decided to use the name of Busuu because that language was just dying, and only a few people that were still alive were using the language, that African language, Busuu. 2008, yeah. I started using Busuu probably in 2011 then, or even 2010, yeah. Really good app. It used to be excellent. I think now you have better options out there, and this is why I'm creating a language app that aims to be the best. For the backend, so it's installing the dependencies. Can we split the API into its own repo? Git remote will be this, and I believe that will be a better idea. I'll make a coffee in the meantime, but we are nearly there, so I believe I will stop the recording now, because there's nothing much very interesting so far. It's just the end of the project, and I hope you enjoy this. I mean, you liked this video, and let me know in comments what you want to learn, another app you want to build, what you would like to, if you want to know something more technical, anything you would like me to teach you, let me know. It will be a pleasure, and see you in another session. This last one, actually, you see, we are splitting the repo into two distinct repos, and in my case, Copilot created for me a setup API repo, and I think it's quite interesting and it's worth to show you. So that's what it does. It asked me for the permission, chmod, and it's doing this actually. So it knows already the Git remote of the mobile app, and because I provided in my prompt the new Git remote for the API, I have created this one for the API, which is this one. And I made a mistake. I said it was PH7, my profile, and it's actually the organization. So it should be JuraSpeaks/Jura Speaks API. So that's my bad. But yeah, as you can see, it did that nice bash script to split our backend and the React Native app. For the API, the remote is not PH-7, but it is that one. All right, I just wanted to share with you this because I thought it was a smart way of splitting the repos, and as you can see, everything is possible. It's very easy if you are clear enough in the way you prompt. If you are specific and you know exactly what needs to be done, you will be able to be clear speaking to AI. You will be able to write a good prompt, and that's just all you need.